What's up? Good morning. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope your weekend is coming along. Man, it's funny how you get some weird situations or get thrown in weird situations. So yesterday I'm out of town with my brother and we just sitting at the restaurant chilling and I'm showing him like a video or something. And it's this guy comes up and just start a conversation out of nowhere. Like I look at my brother and I'm like, you know this dude? And he's like, bro, I thought you knew him. I'm like, bro, I have no idea who this guy is. And so I have no idea what the conversation opener was. All I know is this guy was just on it. Like he was a conversationist specialist. Okay. He was masterful with this. Like he started with one thing and then boom, he went into like the key topic like sports. He was like, yo, what you think about Denver winning? And then like him and my brother was just going at it. It was like a it was like a martial arts competition, you know what I'm saying? He threw the punch, boom, and my brother countered, bam. And then like when the dude felt like my brother was getting the upper hand of him, he switched the topic again to football. And my brother was just like, I'm going to beast mode. He just activated like Transformer. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be over here on my phone because y'all going in. And they talked for about 15, 20 minutes straight. And we have no idea who this guy was. But it's awesome when you get situations like that. That's pretty cool. Okay, so today I'm gonna be talking, well, I'm gonna be reading. I said talking, dealing with the police, the popos, the 50, the 12, whatever else name we give them. So check it out. Years ago, a policeman was your friend and defender. Things have changed now that the police force have become commercial organizations dedicated to producing a profit by taking from you in the form of speeding fines, parking fines, and any number of other charges. It was stated on national TV recently that in the last 13 years, 3,000 additional offenses have been invented. As each individual police force is a commercial company in ways like McDonald's restaurant and strategy, it has no authority to enforce anything any more than McDonald's has. The men and women who work under the banner of their local police force have two separate roles. When they take up their occupation, they have an oath of office pledging to uphold the law. The oath and nothing else gives them the authority to act to enforce common law. That is the few things we listed near the start of the legalese section above. It does not authorize them to do anything connected with so-called government statutes. So they have been trained to use legalese to entrap uninformed members of the public. That sounds familiar. To be fair, it is highly likely that members of the police force are not aware of what they are doing and do not understand the difference between legal statutes, which are optional, and the lawful common law requirements, which apply to everyone and are not optional. Please don't get me wrong. Most policemen and policewomen do a great job and assist members of the public, often above and beyond the requirements of their job, opposing bullying, intimidation, fraud, and comforting in cases of bereavement or injury. Admittedly, the commercial company who controls the police force are working hard to end this sort of positive behavior, using ridiculous health and safety regulations as an excuse, even to extent the police forces are instructed to stand by and watch somebody drown and not attempt to save them. This is not the choice of the officer, but the instructions of the owners of the company. Because thousands of invented offenses don't apply to anybody unless they agree to be bound by them. It becomes essential for a police officer to possibly inadvertently persuade members of the public to agree to subject themselves to unnecessary restrictions and agree to pay invented cash penalties to the local commercial company called the police force. Oh, the normal first attempt to establish this spurious dominance of the police force is by him asking for your name. This is not an innocent question. It is essential that you are careful in what you say, as there are legalese booby traps all over the place. Booby traps. Wow. One suitable reply is, the law does not require me to provide that information. I'll say that again. The law does not require me to provide that information, which is entirely correct and avoids pitfall number one. And no matter how often the question is asked, the answer is always the same. It is important not to argue with a police officer, as that is another legalese booby trap, which makes you subject to the thousands of hateful regulations designed to part you from your money. So only answer questions ideally with a non-aggressive question, and don't volunteer any information. If the police officer says you were exceeding the speed limit, you could say, was I? As you don't argue, nor do you say that the common law does not require anyone to keep up to speed limits, obey road signs, park only where directed, etc. Even though that is perfectly true, maximum arguments are for fools. I agree with that one. I definitely agree. As mentioned before, if the police officer asks, do you understand? Your response should be no. I do not stand under you in this matter. Ooh, I didn't know that. I had no idea about that one. Ooh, that was good. As before, the question is a legalese trap. It has nothing whatsoever to do with understanding anything which has been said. That's good. Under common law, an offense has only been committed if there is a victim, somebody who has been injured or killed or had possession damaged or stolen, or who has been defrauded. So if the police officer keeps pushing you to agree to pay his company money when you don't need to, then a good question to ask might be, who is the victim? An alternative is to ask, what is the charge, or am I free to go? If you stick to these things, then the police officer has nothing to work on, as you have not agreed to be bound by statutes. You have not provided a name and address for him to write an invoice or fixed penalty notice, as they like to call it. And you have not entered into a controversy by arguing with him, or into dishonor by refusing him point blank. There is one other thing, and that is, without being aggressive or offensive in any way, you must not do anything which he tells you to do, because if you do, then those charming legalese people can see that you agree to stand under him and become subject to his legal but not lawful authority, and so become liable to those thousands of cunning plans called statutes, carefully crafted in order to rob you in a perfectly legal but not lawful way. Wow, the game is rigged, y'all. The game is rigged. One thing which any police officer needs to become aware of is the fact that they do not have any security provided by the police force which employs them. In any situation which does not involve common law, the police officer is on his own, acting as an individual contractor, and as such is a wide open to action against him, either under common law, if he is acting unlawful, or by civil law, court action if his actions warrant it. If there is failure to establish joinder, I'm gonna have to look that word up. I don't know what that means. Which is where a human voluntarily agrees to represent the straw man, so becomes subjects to statutes. Then the presumed authority of a police officer does not exist in any respect, and he is acting solely as an individual whose only authority is to enforce common law and nothing else. Hmm, that's interesting. So I did not know that when they ask your name, you ain't really got to give them your name. That's it's pretty good. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. I hope y'all enjoy your weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. And oh, happy Juneteenth to those of you that's gonna celebrate. Peace. It's chilly out there today. A little bit, a little bit. Ooh.